Australia. The land of opportunities offers much more to aspiring immigrants than you would imagine. Great lifestyle, career opportunities, work-life balance, affordable quality education, social security and health benefits, incredible sports facilities, and world-class living, just to name a few. Australia has a strong economy and low unemployment rate, and offers salaries that well justify your professional credentials and expectations. Are you a skilled immigrant struggling to find your perfect job in Australia? Have you applied for several jobs and getting very few to no interview calls at all? Have you been interviewed but consistently getting rejection letters and wondering why? Are you a resilient professional who is really serious about investing your time and money in quickly finding your dream job? It doesn't matter whether you're in Australia or overseas, we are here to help you. Based in Melbourne, Career Launch Australia is a professional career mentoring service offered to global skilled immigrants to secure their perfect Australian job in weeks instead of months and getting paid what they deserve, even if they don't have local experience. Immigrant coaching is much more than just career coaching. It involves understanding the mindset and thought process of individual immigrants at an emotional level and professionally helping them with their job search. Empathy and heart-to-heart connection is crucial for immigrant coaching, and you will surely notice it in CLA consultants. Qualified professionals who have already got their Australian PR, work visa, or those who have applied for Australian PR and are likely to get their visa in the near future, proactively start working with CLA and acquire job search breakthrough techniques. This often results in them quickly securing the job they love after they migrate to Australia. CLA's proven success blueprints offers immigrant professionals practical tools and mindset they need to quickly succeed in their new life and career in Australia. CLA has been marketing their clients successfully into their preferred careers since more than 10 years, giving them both competence and confidence to win the high-paying positions they deserve. Our fully customizable mentoring package includes executive resume writing, LinkedIn profile, interview preparation, addressing key selection criteria, salary projection and negotiation, and most importantly, strategic networking techniques and connecting you with industry connections. A study shows that recruiters spend only 6 seconds reviewing an individual resume. Does your resume stand out in 6 seconds? On an average, every corporate job receives around 250 applications. Does your application hit the nail on the head? 89% of recruiters report hiring candidates through LinkedIn. Does your LinkedIn profile attract interest? 92% of employers and recruiters hire or plan to hire candidates through networks or referrals. How many recruiters do you know? 85% of critical jobs are filled via networking of some sort. Do you know how to strategically network with the right people and access the hidden job market? Average Australian full-time salary is $5,000 a month. You're losing this huge amount every month you're jobless for, and you're using your own hard-earned overseas money to survive in Australia. Could you afford to sustain this double loss? Time is ticking, so don't wait any further. Come and have a chat with us to quickly secure your dream job.
Welcome to this live simulcast of Career Launch Australia on this 28th day of January 2021. You're watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall, said the Chinese philosopher Confucius. My name is Rajiv Bedse. My guest today is Vinod, who has shown great patience and laser focus in earning the job that he deserves. Vinod has a master's in computer applications from India. He has over 10 years of experience in the field of IT. What many people don't know about him is he is absolutely passionate about playing violin. He has certifications like SharePoint, MS Project Platform, ITIL Foundation, SQL, and PMP in his cap. Vinod migrated to Australia around 2 years ago on PR visa and started his new career as program and project scheduler. He has recently secured a job as project management officer in Perth. Vinod, welcome to this simulcast of CLA.
Thank you, Rajesh sir. Thanks for your warm introduction and good morning to you. And thanks for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts about Career Launch Australia. And good morning and good evening to all those people who are watching this live telecast.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Typically people think that getting a job in Australia, and particularly in the field of IT, is quite easy. Some people think that, oh, the people in IT get the jobs in Australia because they have overseas experience and because they are from IT. Creating your first breakthrough in Australia wasn't easy. How did CLA help you, Vinod, in creating clarity around the things that were actually holding you back and in boosting up your confidence?
True. That's true that it was difficult for me initially for first 3 months when I came to Australia. It took me 3 months to find my first job in Australia. But thanks to Career Launch Australia, they had some session like limiting belief session and also the finding your strength session. Those sessions has helped me to remove my limiting beliefs, which I understood that it was just a myth and it was not something which is there in the real world. And another session which I had was identifying my strength, and one of my strength was, as you said, patience and focus. So those two sessions has helped me to keep focused on my goal, and my goal was to get the job in Australia as soon as possible. So once I found a job in Australia, I was relaxed, and I gave you a call also on the same day, and I was very happy that finally I achieved what I wanted to achieve. And when it comes to my strength and focus, initially those 3 months when I was getting rejection letter and when I was not getting enough calls from the recruiter or from the hiring managers, I was not focusing on all those things. I was just focusing on my strength, and my strength was being patient and be laser focused. So that helped me to secure my first job in Australia.
That's great. Now, how did the mindset shift? Because the program that we have created is called the Ultimate Shift, which not only takes care of your getting the job, but we are more focused on your overall evolution as such. So the question I want to ask you is, how did the mindset shift help you in getting the job in your field, even after the roller coaster ride that you had to go through?
Absolutely. Mindset shift has really helped me. I mean, that session which we had, that really helped me to understand the job market in Australia, because back home in India, from where I came, the finding a job is pretty easy. Actually, if you upload your resume into the job portal, you immediately get calls from the recruiters, and they will put you into the interview panel board, and things get easier. And also our focus on back home in India is more on technical skills rather than of your communication skills or your soft skills. But here in Australia, it's completely different. Here, the thing they look for is your how you brand yourself, and how you present your thoughts, and how you present your ideas, and how you present your overall experience in the field where you're applying for the job. So here in Australia, finding a job itself is like a 9 to 5 job, because you have to call the recruiter, and you have to go for a coffee catch up, and you have to go to meet some professionals, and you have to have your professional LinkedIn profiles. Through that, you can make connections, and so there are a lot of things that goes on to find a job in Australia, which I came to know only through Career Launch Australia, because they have a set of plan, they have a set of strategy how to tackle that and how to ensure that you can easily go through all those barriers and reach your milestone. And my milestone was obviously to find a job in Australia. So those mindset shift sessions which we had around 5 to 10 I think sessions which we had that really helped me to secure my first job in Australia.
It's a typical misconception that if you are very good at your technical skills and your technical ability, and you have all these certifications done, it will be easy for you to get the job here in Australia. But typically, that is not the case. I find in most cases, and you actually pointed it out very well that even if you have the technical ability, what matters more in terms of getting the job is not just the technical skills, but your communication skills and your stakeholder management skills. And I believe, when you are going through the interview process, they must have asked you about these particular skills and how you actually, executed those skills in the real life, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. They were asking those questions how you have done well in your previous job. So I have to tell stories, or I would say my accomplishments. And with those stories and with those accomplishments, when I tell them, they understand my background and they understand that how I able to, accomplish those tasks or those challenges. So the skills that you have shared with me, that SCAR formula, with the help of those skills, I could able to help and let them know that how I able to overcome those challenges in my previous job. So they were convinced with my skills.
Great. Now, Akash has just congratulated you.
Thank you, Akash. Thanks a lot.
And here is another one from Jaideep.
Thank, thanks, Jaideep. Thank you so much.
And then there comes Ketan.
Thank you, Ketan. Thanks a lot.
You're becoming a hero already.
Thanks to Rajiv sir. I mean, he's a great teacher, and I'm very thankful that I met him.
Sometimes I can be hard, sometimes I can be tough, though,
Yeah,
which many people may not like it. But I always say to my client that I will not be doing my job if I don't push you, to do better and to get the job quickly here in Australia. Well, so moving forward, what particular skills you believe, both hard skills and soft skills, as well as the certifications, help you in making yourself more employable in Australia?
absolutely. Uh, Both the skills which you talked about, the hard skill and the soft skills, are very important in Australia. A hard skill includes, I would say, your cover letter, your CV, your certification, your relevant certification that is required, and also your LinkedIn profiles and how overall you groom yourself before going for the job interview, because those hard skills are very, very important in Australia. And also the soft skills. The soft skills mean the people skills, the talking skills, the listening skills, the storytelling skills. That also is very much required to secure your job in Australia. And your program and your team has really helped me with the cover letter and resume, which is outstanding. It reflects exactly who I am in the real world. So I really want to thank for that. And another thing is that, as you said, the CV is like your financial document. With that, you can able to buy car. With that, able to, you can buy house. With that, able to get job. So
Yes.
CV and cover letter is absolutely important. That is one of the hard skills that you have. Even if you don't have certification, but if you have the right CV and right cover letter with overall your accomplishments and achievements, then you can crack the job in Australia. And the soft skill, obviously, that is also very, very important here, because the presentation skills, and how you tackle with the clients and how you overcome those challenges are also very important.
Did you find any doing any specific certifications helped you in getting the job as a PMO?
Yes, one of the certification that helped me was Microsoft Project Platform, because with that certification only I got my first job in Australia as a program and project scheduler. Because in that particular job, I have to work on the Microsoft Project Platform tool. So to work on that tool, you don't need certification, but if you have certification, it's easy to secure a job.
Okay. Hita is congratulating you.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you for your appreciation and
Then there is Pankaj Sindhu.
thank you, Pankaj. Thanks a lot.
We have Raghavan.
Thank you, Raghavan. Thanks a lot.
And then Uday Kumar. Uday actually, I mean, many of these are like existing clients, by the way. And Uday has recently secured a job in his field
Oh,
as a mechanical engineer. He's a fresh mechanical engineering graduate. His first job in his field, and he secured a job quite quickly. So once he's settled there, probably you might be able to see one of his testimonials online, like yours, just within a few weeks, I believe.
sure. Thanks, Uday, and all the best. And congratulations for securing your first job in Australia.
Right. Now we have a question from Mariam. If you want to answer that question to her,
The question: how should we
I'm
convince?
mentoring her at the moment.
Okay, how you are going to convince them for that we are the best choice? One of the way you can convince is by your communication skills and your storytelling ability skills, which is TJD, which Rajiv sir will definitely help you out. Because the moment they are going to ask any questions, you have to tell them in a in a SCAR method, that is situation, challenge, action, result. And the moment you tell them the result, and with all the challenges that you have gone through um, to to overcome that challenge or to overcome that task, they can understand that you have a lot of in-depth experience. It's not you're just writing the roles and responsibilities. You actually did that, and you actually gone through that, and you overcome that challenges. When you say in this storytelling manner, it's very, I mean, at least you put yourself in the right place, that yes, he is one of the candidates whom we can look after and whom we can, position himself for that particular job. So I hope I can answer, I have answered that question. But
Yes,
anyway,
yes.
thanks for
You
congratulating.
certainly have, but more, I just want to add a little bit to that, Mariam. Your interview is not really about, you don't have to really convince, in that convincing fashion. I believe your interview is more about expressing yourself so well that you will influence them to buy your product. And, as we go through the program, we'll talk about it for sure. So that's great. We have Prasanna Sawant, who is congratulating you as well.
Thank you, Prasanna. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
All right. So moving on, you said that your patience and focus, which are your strengths. I just want to understand you, and if you can throw more light on this so that, all the people who are watching or all the people who will be watching your video later on, how important the patience and focus is during the job search.
Because that is my strength, and that is very important for me to know what is my strength is all about. Because the first 3 months was challenging, as I said, to find a job in Australia. At that time, my focus and my strength, or my patience and my focus, has really helped me to focused what I want, and what I want was to find a job. I was not looking for what are the rejection that I got, or I was not looking for who has not responded to me, because my job was to focus on my strength, and my strength was uh, patience. So um, every individual has their own strength. So Rajesh sir will definitely have different strength compared to my strength. For example, I
Yes.
remember that Rajesh sir told me that when he came into Australia, he applied for a sales job, and he had a conversation with his boss, and he was saying that I don't have any experience with sales job, and I'm an introvert. I don't talk. I'm not a talkative guy. So his boss said that that's very good, because salesperson doesn't have to talk; they have to listen more, and an introvert is a good listener. So that's a good uh, talent, or that's a good skill you have, that you have a listening skill. That means you can understand the problem of the customer and can solve the problem of the customer. And most of the successful salesmen are having listening skills. So
Mm.
that those kind of examples really helped me to trust my strength, that is my patience and focus. And I was not moving anywhere else. I was just focusing on my strength, and that helped me to secure my job, even though it took a little bit of time. But I was just focusing on my strength. That helped me a lot to secure my first job in Australia.
Yeah, it's absolutely important that you understand this concept, and I hope Uday, this will help you as well, because one of the concerns people have is exactly this: how to apply their patience and focus in their job search. And it's not, your job search is not just about selling yourself; it's much more than that. Um, we have questions coming in, and we have Raghav is asking a question. Hi Vinod, how did you feel about survival in Australian market? Probably when you came here.
um, Yeah, when it comes to money aspect, it was difficult, because you have to have a budget to survive in Australia, because you are surviving with your savings. You don't have any other job. You have to survive with your savings, because with that saving, not only you have to you know uh, pay your rents. Not only you have to eat food 3 times in a day, but also you have to go for the coffee catch-ups, you have to go for the meetups. For all those things, money matters. But if you are positive, and if you know you will achieve it, and you are focused on your strength, and you have a feeling that you will achieve it, then no matter how much mental issue or mental toughness is there for surviving in Australia, you will get through that. Because I think in Rajiv sir's mentoring program, almost all clients have gone through that tough times in the initial stage, but all have gone through and all have got and secured their job. There is, I think, it's 100% result. So if you just focus on your goal and forget about all the negatives, then you can pass through for sure. I
And
hope
I'm glad
I
that Raghav has used the word survival and not struggle. Many people say that, I'm struggling. I guess survival is a much better word. And I always say that, all the immigrants, including the fresh graduates, have to go through these three stages: survive, sustain, and then you succeed. So people who have survived, or people who have the willingness to survive in this country, will most definitely be able to sustain it. And then, of course, they will succeed as well, like how Vinod has done. So, Akash has a question.
in your storytelling during the actual interview, did you mention the quantitative figures like percentage, etc., in the result section? It depends on the question that they asked. It's not important that in all the questions you have to give your quantitative figures, because it's not just quantitative figures, it's your productivity, efficiency, and profitability. So wherever there is efficiency is there, you have to put your efficiency strategy. Wherever there is productivity is there, you have to put the figures, and profitability also you have to put the figures. So it depends on the question to question. So I think my most of the questions were more on efficiency, and I think one or two questions there was some things related to my profitability where I have put my figures as well. I hope I answered my question.
Yes, you have. And of course, what I call it the prepare formula, PREPR, productivity, efficiency, and profitability are the most important things to any employer. And, you should be able to highlight that in your during your job interview. So, yes, so thank you, Vinod, for that. Um, we have Omkar, who is congratulating you.
Thank you, Omkar. Thank you so much.
Then we have Siddhant.
Thank you, Siddhan. Thanks for your wishes.
Now, Uday has got a very interesting question. Being a
I will
fresher in the industry, I'm wondering what would be the first few days in the company and any suggestions on how to adapt in the working environment from your view.
sure. Thanks. It's a very good question, Uday. And I will tell you what I did because maybe that will help you also. So, in my first job interview, which was in Melbourne, so I had the opportunity to meet all the managers initially and all my colleagues in my team. So, first of all, my I had a training for first 1 month, which is mandatory training in that company. So I was doing the training, so I don't have to work on those first month. I guess I was have to do the training, then only I can start working. So on those during training time, whenever I get the time, I used to interact with my colleagues, and I will take them for a coffee catch ups to know their background, how they came here, and all those things. So we have not just Indians, we have Chinese there, we have Malaysians there, we have Australians there, so we can understand their culture. We can take them for a lunch uh, in their restaurant. In this way, you can make you become that KLT factor, no like and
Like
trust factor.
trust. Yeah.
Yeah. So once you build that rapport with all the people, so whenever there is any issue is there, they know, yeah, there is Uday is there who can fix this issue. Let's call Uday then. So you will become that go-to person. So that's what I did in my initial first few months. I was trying to be interactive more. I trying to be because here, if you don't interact, people think that you are not assertive because here the communication skill is that. So if you are more interactive and if you can uh, go and talk to people, they will really like you. So that's the suggestion I can give you in your first initial stages of your career.
Beautiful. Siddhant has a question, what's the scope for Indian MBA graduates there in Australia? Let me handle this. So, Siddhant, all you need is, you first need to get an Australian permanent residency visa, PR visa. Once you have that visa, then, we can definitely help you. We have a lot of people who are in your situation. But the first challenge you have is to get the Australian PR. Jaideep has a very interesting question. I'm mentoring Jaideep at the moment. What was the biggest challenge you had before joining CLA?
Um, I mean, how to find a job? That is the biggest challenge, I would say, because I never traveled any part of the world. This is the first country where I moved from from India to Australia. So I had no contacts in Australia. So I was completely new. So that's why it took 2 years before moving to Australia. And because I was looking for somebody like Rajiv sir who can help me to find a way which can help me to ease uh, my travel, or would say ease my path to reach here in Australia. So my biggest challenge, how to find a job in Australia, because I understood that finding a job in Australia is completely different than finding a job in India. So I wanted a strategy in which I can able to tackle all the challenges that are coming in Australia. So finding a job, I would say.
Just on that, Vinod, when I was mentoring you, you mentioned that you had a lot of limiting beliefs. So, what
Yeah.
limiting beliefs did you have before coming to Australia, and how did creating that document, which describes your quantified achievements, it help you in eliminating your limiting beliefs?
Sure. So I think one of your participant had asked what is the prospects for MBA grads. So I think this can help him because I'm not an MBA grad, but my job was more into project management. So one of my biggest limiting belief was that project management or PMO jobs or the management job in general is only for locals or only for Australians. It is not for the migrants, is what I thought. But I was completely wrong because after the limiting belief session which we had, which was around 2 hours with you, I understood that it was just a myth. It was not something in the real world. In the real world, it's all about productivity, profitability, and efficiency. If you are productive, if you're efficient, and and you are good in your job, then you will get the job, irrespective of whatever background you are having. So that limiting belief session has really helped me to remove my limiting beliefs, and also that documents which we created, that is uh, the uh, the the TJD and the questionnaire, the the interview questionnaire which we had. So those
Yes.
questionnaire has helped me to know what are the accomplishments that I did in my career, because it helps me to dig out all the accomplishments and all the achievements that I had in my last 10 years. And once it comes into a piece of paper, and you just read through all those accomplishment, and then you go for the interview, it becomes very easy because you know what you have to say during the interview panel, and it gives you enough confidence, and you will completely forget about your limiting beliefs because you know you have already achieved so many things in your life, and you have so many things to say during your job interview. So that document really helped me, and that document is not only going to help you in your career, it also going to help you in your social situation, because definitely in social situation also we talk about our career, our jobs, and all those things. So
Hmm.
whenever we will have a tea session or something, we can always talk about your accomplishment, what you have accomplished in your career. Maybe in that tea session also somebody will say, "Oh, we have an opportunity over there. Do you want to try to apply for that opportunity?" So really, that document is really an outstanding thing, and that really removes all your limiting beliefs.
Beautiful. Ketan has a very interesting question, and Ketan, we will be seeing Ketan on one of these live simulcasts very soon as well. But Ketan has figured out his job around networking, and he understands the importance of networking very well. But still, he wants to know from you so that other people can know about it. How important is networking for the process of securing the job?
Thanks, Ketan, for your question. Of course, networking is the biggest thing in Australia because everything happens through referrals here in Australia. If you just apply through online, you will not get any call back from the recruiter. So you have to have that networking skills, and Rajiv sir and his team has a fantastic strategy how to network with the people. He has a PDF documents, and if you go through that document, it will be very easy for you, to secure a job in Australia through networking skills. And I can say that once you have the Australian standard resume, and once you see any job openings in the job in the Seek or in Indeed, you first call the recruiter instead of applying directly through online, and then asking for a coffee catch up if possible. If that's not possible, then you have to go for the meetups to meet the professionals and make enough connections with them so that they know who you are, and you can create that KLT factor again, know like and trust factor, so that whenever any opportunity comes, they will definitely call you back. And there is a networking sheet is there in in Rajiv sir's mentoring session, and you have to put all the numbers over there, how many meetups you have done, how many coffee catch-ups you have done, because it's all about number game at the end of the day. So networking is really important, and you should have a good LinkedIn profile with good photo, and you should have enough connection with the local recruiters and local HRs. And yeah, so absolutely, networking is the key to secure a job in Australia, if not through job portals.
Omkar has a very interesting question, and you see how much you can help him.
Yeah,
But if you can just read it loudly and then answer the question, please.
I'm also a Microsoft certified, currently working for Concentrix, and our client is Microsoft itself. Excellent. Working for directory service, how and what are the chances to get a job there in Australia? Absolutely. I would say 100% because you already been certified, and you're working for the client called Microsoft, which is there in Australia as well. So all you have to have is that presentation skills, including your certification, because they look for how well you can present it to the client. Because back home in India, we don't have to interact much with the client. We are directly interacting with our local managers or our local team leads. But here we are directly talking with the client, so that uh, presentation skill, which is that hard skills and the soft skills, is very important. Plus your certification. Of course, you have already have certification, which is excellent. Now you just have to focus on your communication skills and soft skills. Then obviously you can secure a job. And just don't focus on Microsoft company. There are many companies are there with this particular skills itself. There are many companies are there who are looking for this kind of people. So you can obviously secure a job in Australia.
Great. We have another very good question by Ratish Kumar. Ratish has just recently enrolled in the program, and we haven't yet started his mentoring. But Ratish, thank you so much for your question, and thank you for waking up so early in the morning there in Abu Dhabi. It must be around what 4 o'clock, I guess, there in the morning. So, if you are able to answer this question to Ratish, please.
Sure. Thank you, Ritesh, for congratulating me. What element you feel that needs to be changed, or what are the key elements that you have overhauled in you for securing a job in Australia? Um, Communication skill and presentation skill is one of the most important skill that you should have before migrating to Australia. And also the mindset shift, which Rajesh sir is talking about. One of the mindset shift I want to talk about today is that taking imperfect action and not waiting for the perfect time to come in, because there is nothing like perfect except this universe. So take imperfect action and you will get the result for sure. So that is one mindset shift you should have in Australia, because people in Australia are a bit assertive, and they want you to communicate well. So if you're good with communication skill, they think that you are assertive, and they like assertive people because they think that they can have a lot of ideas to share with their employer. So yeah, the communication skills and taking imperfect action and those mindset changes which is required to come to Australia, which definitely Rajesh sir can help you out. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, that's so true. I sincerely believe that your mindset is more important than your skill set is in any situation. Now, Vinod, we talked about and we shared about a lot of tools with you in the program. Was there any particular tool that really helped you the most in the entire program, or it was just a combination of everything?
It's a very difficult question, Rajesh sir, because all
Mhm.
the tools I'm still using it in my daily life. So I cannot pinpoint one tool which has really outshined the other two. But to answer your question specifically, I would say um, that questionnaire, that job questionnaire, and the TJD. That tool has really helped me out because that is like lifetime. I can use that forever till I'm trying to find a job in Australia. I can use
Yeah.
that tool for for sure. And another one is that limiting beliefs and the branding session which we had. That helped me a lot because that helped me to know who I am rather than trying to chase somebody because chasing is like seeking. But you have helped me to tell that you're an expert, so you don't have to chase anybody, and you are
Mhm.
a so those limiting beliefs and branding session has helped me. That is one of the tools. And the last but not the least, resume and the cover letter, which is outstanding. Thanks to your team who has helped me to create that. And just want to tell you guys that Rajiv sir takes 30 hours to create one resume. So he puts a
Mhm.
lot of effort to create that resume, and once that resume comes out, it looks like it's your identity or something like that. Because it's ultimately that is what helped you to get a job here in Australia. So yeah,
Beautiful.
those three things I would say.
Raghav has a question for you. Please read it out loudly and then you can answer it.
Did you feel any major differences in actual interviews in Australia compared to our country? What are basics I have to keep in mind before going for an interview here? Oh, there's a huge difference, Raghav. That's why I have opted for Career Launch Australia before coming to Australia, and that is that in India they focus on your technical ability rather than of your communication skill. But here it's just the opposite. Look on your communication skill rather than of technical ability because here you have to directly interact with the client, directly give solution to the client. You have to put a lot of presentation here. The 5-year old kid can give better presentation than us because that is how they are being trained here. They are very good in communication skills, so they look your uh, you know communication skill rather than of your technical skills. Obviously you should have technical skills, and they think that you are a good in technical skills, so you don't have to talk about it, but you have to talk in that SCAR formula, that is situation, challenge, action, result. If you can talk in that manner, you can you can crack any interview here. And that kind of things is not at all there in India. In India they just look into your skill and they will uh, ask the technical questions, and you have to answer or you have to solve those technical questions. That is not there in Australia. There are there, but that is like 25% or so. But most of the time it's about your communication skill.
When you talk about communication skills, most people have this, misconception or a limiting belief that I don't have the Australian accent or I cannot speak Australian slangs. And one of the things that, all the people who are watching this video must have realized is that even Vinod doesn't have an Australian accent. Was that a hindrance for you, Vinod, the Australian accent really, or it did not really matter?
It's another a limiting belief, Rajesh sir, because Australia is a land of migrants. It's not just
Mm.
Australians only here. Many Indians are there, many some, Americans are there, many Dubai people, many Malaysians, Singaporeans, all kind of ethnicities are there. So
Yes.
it's a limitation. It's a limiting belief. So you have to be yourself, and you should have that heart-to-heart communication, which Rajesh sir talks about, which is what they are looking for. If you can talk through your heart, and if you can put yourself into their shoes and can solve the problem, that is more than enough. They are not looking whether you have accent of an Australian or you have an accent of an American or something like that. They are just looking whether you can solve the problem and whether you have that knowledge to uh, do your job well or not, and also whether you can be part of that team. And to be part of that team, you have to talk, and you have to talk who you are. That's it. I mean, that's all they are looking for.
One of the limiting beliefs people have is about their local experience, and Mariam has really got a very good question. So she's saying one of the limiting beliefs are that local experience is very important to secure a job in Australia. What do you think about this?
Thanks, Mariam, for this question. And Rajesh sir has a tool to solve that local experience issue as well, because sometimes a recruiter will be asking whether you have local experience or not. So you have to. I mean, what Rajesh sir said is that you have to add so much value that limiting that local experience question itself will not come. So local experience is something they just test whether that can shake your confidence or not. But at the end of the day, they are looking for the same thing: productivity, efficiency, and profitability. And if we can have these three things, and if you can convince and not convince, sorry, convince is the wrong word. If you can tell your story in these three lines, then definitely you can solve. You can crack the job.
Mariam is actually from Pakistan, and you will be surprised. You'll be utterly surprised to hear her when she speaks to you. I could not figure out that she is from Pakistan. She speaks very fluent English, and because she has studied here, her accent is quite good as well. So, well done there, Mariam. We'll take
Thank you.
just a couple of questions, and then we move on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please go ahead and read it, and then we can answer.
Thanks, Sai, for congratulating me. I have a question for you. Have you experienced any stress or tension in answering questions in interview? If so, how do you handle that? Thank you. Um, Frankly speaking, I was so prepared, Sai, because I already have all the answers. Because most of the questions which we have already updated in TJD, that is there in the questionnaire, and also we have put so much of we have done so much of homework that we feel very confident while going for the interview. And you get at least 2 days or 3 days of time before going for the interview. So uh, I was not having any stress or tension, but I had a little bit of anxiety, I would say, because that was my first interview or so. But after I attended a couple of interviews, I was pretty confident. I was in the game, and I know that it is just a matter of time to get the job. So I think if you are very good with that clarity questionnaire and that TJD, then you will be very confident in your interview.
Absolutely. Uday has another question.
That's how to ask the employers what they are expecting from us in our job, and how to effectively respond to them.
So he's starting his new job very soon, and he wants to know how can he be proactive in knowing from them what exactly they expect from him, and then how do you give it to the employer?
So my last two job, I had a coffee session with my boss. So he sat down with me with the coffee, and he talked about the history of the company, and he talked about what this project is all about and what is my roles and responsibility. He itself will take you for a coffee session, or maybe to a conference room, and he will tell you what are your roles and responsibility and what you have to do in your job. And he will also tell you this is your team, and this is whom you have to this is the person you have to approach. So all those details will be provided to you by your boss itself. In my last two job, that is what happened. They have taken me to the coffee, and they told me 2 weeks you will be having a training, and these are your roles and responsibility. And if you have any question, you can talk to this person. If you have any question on this particular topic, you can talk to this question. If you don't have any answer to any people, you can directly approach me. So all these things they will tell you, and they will make yourself very comfortable. Especially Australians are very good in that. They will take you coffee, they will take you for lunch, and they make sure that you're absolutely comfortable in your place.
They're quite friendly as well, aren't they?
They're very friendly. They're very friendly, and they ensure that you are pretty safe and you are able to do your job properly.
Hmm. So, Vinod, what specific advice would you give to the immigrant job searchers or the fresh graduates who are currently looking for the jobs in their respective fields? What would you advise to them? What would they be looking for? What some do's and don'ts?
The easiest thing they can do is to join Career Launch Australia, I would say, because you have the strategy, you have the plan, you just have to execute that plan and get it done. But to answer to your question specifically, take immediate imperfect action, which I said it before, because that is the most important thing in Australia or anywhere. I would say taking immediate imperfect action, because nothing is perfect except this universe, and you should have a good Australian style resume, which is which tells about who you are before applying for any job or before making any connections. Because resume sells, like Rajiv sir said, it's like a financial document, because through that you can buy car, through that you can buy house. So have a good resume and take immediate imperfect action and make enough connections so that you can build that KLT factor. No
Like and
like.
trust.
Yeah. So
Yes, and most importantly, don't give up.
don't give up. Exactly. No matter how much time it takes, you will get the job. That's for sure.
Exactly. And you have been a very good example of somebody who migrated all the way from India and then found your way out or around all the obstacles. The last question before I say goodbye to you and to all the viewers is: was the exercise of leaving everything behind and starting a whole new life here in Australia worth it, and why?
So it's absolutely worth it, Rajesh sir, because I came from a middle class family back home in India, and you know coming here in a first world country, living a world class life, um, with all the facilities and all those things, there is no looking back actually. There is no looking back saying that I regret this decision of coming to Australia, because it was the best decision of my life. And but I would say that I also took 2 years before moving to Australia after I got the PR, and the reason being is that I was financially was not sound at that time, and secondly I was looking for somebody like Rajiv sir who can help me to find a way here, so that I can found my job quickly, because as Rajiv sir said, that he's like a GPS who will give you the direction and you will be the driver's seat, and you just have to follow the direction to reach the goal. So that's exactly what I did before moving to Australia. So thank you, Rajiv sir, and thanks for all the help you provided me to help me to find a job in Australia.
No worries. Your dreams are that you want to start your own yoga institute. You want to create a spirituality and music center and be able to provide food and education to poor people, which really is inspiring. Whereas I sincerely wish that may all your dreams come true and may all your ambitions be fulfilled in near future. My sincere and heartfelt thanks for this interview. I cannot thank you enough, and God bless you, Vinod.
Thank you, Rajesh sir. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Uh, I found a diamond back home in India when I was looking to migrate to Australia, and that diamond is Rajesh Betse.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the next step in your life. Thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for your kind words. I really mean it. I'll talk to
And
you very soon.
I just want to tell you that please read the book Magic, because during my limiting belief session, Rajiv sir told me to read the book Magic from Rhonda Brain. That will also change your life. You have to be
Thank you.
grateful. You have to be uh, gratitude. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vinod. Thank you. Thanks a lot once again. So I believe this session has been a great session for all the viewers who are watching this live and who will be watching this later on YouTube video. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to professionally help you in getting the job in your field, whether you are an immigrant professional from anywhere in the world who wants to settle anywhere here in Australia, or you are a fresh engineering graduate or any kind of graduate here in Australia. It will be our pleasure to help you with your job search. With that, I say goodbye for now, and I will see you in the next video very, very soon. Bye for now.